Brunch, the daily morning show where we talk about the latest topics in entertainment. I'm Brittany Jones Cooper.
I'm Shannon Coffey.
I'm Allie Colbert.
And I'm Lucas Tim. Hi, everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, welcome. You guys, I know that we're not like the biggest sports table in the world, but the World Cup finale, our final finale.
Finale,
like
the finale episode of the World
finale
Cup.
Of the World Cup. Did you guys watch it? What did you think?
Oui. Allez-vous bleu?
Yay! They won.
It was a full game.
If you guys didn't watch,
right?
France did beat Croatia 4-2. But it sounds like a blowout, but it really was a good like back and forth. I'm not a huge soccer fan, but like I think that's a beauty.
Not.
Huh?
Back and forth, the game.
I'm not. At the beginning, the first half was like a little more tense.
Really? Everyone's reporting on it that it was just like
But I
no chance.
I watched it.
I watched too, but I didn't feel like it was.
I think Croatia put up a really, really good fight because they were the underdog. They kept it going. They kept it competitive. They kept it interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Croatia's only been like an independent country for like 20 years.
Yeah.
So the fact they got second in this is pretty incredible. Congrats, Croatia.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you know if Russia actually won, they would have been the first sports team to actually accept their invitation to the White House to meet Trump.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's a really good point.
I have a feeling they're going to get an invitation anyway.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Well, moving on to some music news, Miley Cyrus has deleted all photos off of her Instagram page, including pictures of her and fiancé Liam Hemsworth. Fans are curious about the reason she made this decision, but the star has yet to reveal why. Miley's Twitter is still up and running, so fans can still keep up with her on that social media.
Ooh.
What do you think? Why'd you do this?
I think that everyone is talking about this story in a really deceiving way because they're like, oh, she deleted all of her posts, including her pictures with Liam. It's like, okay, she wasn't going to just leave up 3 photos of Liam Hemsworth and delete everything else on her feed. This, to me, reads as like a definite publicity, something she's going to promote and is going to come back and like post a song or an album she's dropping. I mean, why would you keep your account active but delete everything?
Yeah. And Taylor Swift did something similar, so we know that there's like a precedent for this, where it's like, let's get all the attention. I don't follow Miley, but I'm thinking about it because I want to know when she comes back, which I think kind of like proves your point that it's for publicity.
Yeah. Does anyone think otherwise?
No, I think it definitely has to be for publicity. You know, she always reinvents herself, so I feel like she's completely gonna probably switch it up so much that she doesn't even want a trace of any old photos on us. So I'm just wondering what she's gonna do. You know, Taylor Swift turned into a snake. So what is Miley gonna be? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's just being Miley.
She's just being Miley. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, I think it's a whole like artistic decision to like revamp her Instagram. You know, people do. Well, yeah, you delete everything and you post like the new era
delete your flow.
Yeah, you need a new like branding of Instagram, whatever, and like all the pictures will look alike and stuff. I think it's a whole thing she's gonna launch.
You know, I like have a lot of trouble with Instagram sometimes because follow me because but like everything on my flow, like I like when you look at an Instagram page and it looks like aesthetically beautiful, but as like a comedian, when you're posting things trying to be funny or like show flyers, it makes it look not nice.
Yeah.
And I'm always struggling between like my inner artiste and being funny.
You know, I've been using their archive feature, so you don't have to delete your posts. So like, I'll put up show flyers, and then if it doesn't look that cute, I'll take it down. But I also want people to look back and be like, no, I'll archive it.
How can you do that?
Oh my God, this
so
is new
it's an
information for
option
me.
where you can like hide it from the feed, so people can see it, but you can always go back and be like, oh man, James left me that funny comment.
I didn't know you could do that.
Me neither.
You go to the photo and you hit the
archive.
circles.
Yeah, those 3 little dots.
And then it's out of your. Oh my God!
You just learned something
We learn new
brand
things
new.
every
Thank
day.
you, Shannon.
You're welcome. I'm kind of like an Instagram queen. Also follow me.
Also follow me.
Not Lucas. Don't follow Lucas.
I need followers desperately.
I don't know. Miley is one of those people who she's really good at getting attention, though. So I think we'll find out in the next, like, how long do you think this will last, this hiatus from Instagram?
2 days.
Because her Twitter's still up.
I don't know. I don't really see Miley as someone who like does things for like attention. Like she definitely gets a lot of attention, and I know the Wrecking Ball phase was something she looks back on and is like, I never want to see that music video again or play that song again. But she's so awesome. Like I love Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, I'm a big Miley fan.
The Malibu song, that was so good.
I just watched that video like last night.
Yeah, she definitely found her voice, I think, after all that time. Like all through the like Robin Thicke, like blurred lines phase.
Yeah.
I think she came out on the other end stronger.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That was
It was
bad,
it was
All
a moment.
The spanking.
We have the same birthday.
Aw.
Oh wow.
She's a year older than I am, though.
What's your sign?
Yes.
Sagittarius.
Okay.
Yeah.
That explains so much.
Yeah,
Wow.
it does.
She's
Me and
great.
Miley.
Her backyard jams. She does this, you know, that stuff when she like films her like covering songs or doing her own songs in her backyard. She did a song with Ariana Grande. What did they do? I don't know. There's a video of her and Ariana Grande, and it's so good.
I can't remember the song. Yeah, they both are like such good vocalists. Like,
unreal.
It's funny when Miley was like Hannah Montana, I feel like we didn't take her serious as a musician, but her vocals are so good, and her voice is like really recognizable. It's really raspy. It's a rare voice.
Yeah, it is.
Is that your impression? Please do.
I thought you just like had to cough or something.
I'm Miley Cyrus. I like her. I went to her Hannah Montana concert when I was in like middle school.
Really?
And like she was just up there and she was like, I'm living a dream, and I was like gonna cry.
Aww.
I was like so happy for her.
Nobody's perfect still in it. It's still a jam.
But now she's saying that was like a hard time in her life, and how she was like struggling. It's just funny how like what we do versus what we.
Yeah.
Sorry to break it down.
All right. Well, Marvel Studios' Black Widow film is officially in the works. After an extensive search and years of fan anticipation, the origin story for Scarlett Johansson's character, Natasha Romanoff, finally has a director. Kate Shortland has signed on to direct the long overdue film, and according to The Hollywood Reporter, this pick comes after Marvel met with 70 to 75 candidates to helm it.
Yeah, snaps for that.
Woo!
Full support for this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
If anyone at this table wasn't in support of this, I would drag you into the streets and throw you in that construction hole right now.
This is a safe space.
Yeah.
It's just so crazy that, I mean, there's so few female directors. I mean, I shouldn't say they're there. They're not there. They're just given the chances. Like, Wonder Woman was the first female-directed superhero movie in like 22 years or whatever. And I looked up, Catherine Bigelow is the only woman to ever win Best Director. It's like one of those things where, yeah, they've been around, they just haven't been given this opportunity, so thank God they finally are.
I know, but have you ever worked with a woman? They're constantly looking for tampons.
Always on their period.
So hormonal. I just can't feel it. But to your point, it had been 20 years, and that's because when they did the one, I forget, the Tank Girl,
I
that
love
it didn't
Tank Girl.
perform well. So that's the thing. It was like women had one shot 20 years ago. People didn't come out and support it, and then we had to wait 20 more years, which is insane. So I'm glad that this isn't the only female director of a superhero movie we're seeing. Ava DuVernay is also doing The New Gods. Kathy Yan is directing the Harley Quinn movie. So like, it won't just be one shot at this. Like, we're getting multiple opportunities to show that women can excel in this space, which is awesome.
Yeah, but I do want to defend Tank Girl. If you haven't seen it, it's a 90s classic.
I haven't seen it.
I mean, I watched it when it came out, and I was only like, I was like a kid, I was a baby, but I love Lori Petty in it.
Yes.
It's like a good feminist film. It's a great comic book if you haven't checked it out. Ice-T's in it. I love Ice-T, and he plays like a kangaroo alien dude. It's so funny, and it's so bizarre. There's still not another film like it, so if you haven't seen it yet, go back. It's worth checking out. And I think if it came out now, it would actually perform well.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you think like now it's like a cult favorite, like it would have done better now?
I think they probably honestly didn't have the support behind it because it was a female lead and it was a female director. And even though they gave those women those opportunities, I don't really think they were backing them.
Right, no, I agree.
Yeah.
I think the women have to back, like I think Nicole Kidman just said that every 18 months she's gonna do a movie with a female director. She's one of the leading actresses in Hollywood putting that statement down, and I feel like Hollywood has to react.
Right.
So Margot Robbie did the same thing with Harley Quinn. It's like women and people and allies in general just have to bond together and say like, we will no longer just stand for this, you know, and it's good.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I read that the article we read that the group of women directors like brought in the ACLU to help them with discrimination. I think that
Isn't that crazy?
it's crazy, yeah. But it's one of those things where like Hollywood, which we've seen now with the Me Too movement and with recent changes and stuff, that like there's these institutional problems that just people accept. Well, that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Women aren't directors. Women don't direct superhero movies. And like they're like, no, that's fucked up. Like in bringing in the ACLU to do that, like that was necessary. I had no idea. Like we lived in LA. I had no idea that happened. And I think it's just really cool that maybe it's taking governmental push, institutional push. Superstars saying they will only work with female directors, but at least it's happening.
Yeah, another thing that article mentioned that I really loved was the idea that social media shaming actually really does work. And we just saw that with Scarlett Johansson stepping down from that role. Like, at first she didn't want to do it and she was defending herself, but I feel like people complained so much that it made a change, and I'm like, this is an exciting time. Like, we get to directly comment and be like, you know what?
Troll everyone.
Just so you know, we're not going to come to the theater and support that film because we don't stand by that casting.
Yeah, and she like really learned something from it. Her response after that was like, you know, I misunderstood, and I've taken the time to learn and take this opportunity. So yeah, social media definitely had a good effect. Well, in more movie news, I got some good news. We'll sound the alarm because it's official. The Downton Abbey movie is a go. 3 years after, woo! Downton Abbey fans in the house.
Oh my God, everyone.
Woo! After going off the air, the hit PBS show is coming to the big screen. Fans can finally rejoice as the film will begin production this summer and reunite the show's original cast. Are you guys excited?
This is going to be a fast-paced, thrilling fucking film.
Action-packed.
I think we can all agree.
We're gonna see Maggie Smith in some it's like a car chase, just like really going for it.
I think they'll put The Rock in it because that would be perfect. Yeah,
I would love that.
The Rock in Downton Abbey.
Let's all get on social media and pressure them to put The Rock in this movie.
He would reply to those tweets.
He would.
He would probably do it. He's in every single movie.
Yeah.
Why
What
not?
would he be in Downton Abbey though?
A butler. Just like a really buff butler. He wouldn't do any action.
Holding, like,
he just carries
I don't think
everybody.
he
it would
would
be
a
a
British
serious
accent,
dramatic
though.
role.
He'd have to come from America and like help them with something.
That is true.
Yeah.
That
Well,
is true.
I watched Downton Abbey. I loved it, and it was one of those popular shows in the world. Aired in 150 countries, which is incredible. It's the most nominated non-US show at the Emmy Awards. I love it. I'm so excited. I mean, like it was just
Here's
watching
a bunch of facts.
watching rich British people be rich and their servants take care of them. But for some way, like it still was so captivating. Like Maggie Smith is the Dowager Countess of Grantham or whatever, and like her quotes, like "What is a weekend?" Like the best one-liner is like I'm gonna see it. I think it's cool.
It was iconic. Why do you think they decided to do a movie and not just another season, though? I always wonder about that.
Yeah, I had the same question. I feel like you're the one that's going to speak on it the most.
Well, I have a thought.
Oh, okay.
I think that they might choose to do a film so that it could feel sort of like encapsulated in a way that, like, if they do another season, then I don't know. You never know when to end.
That's true.
With the series, and I think a movie sometimes, like I'm thinking right now of Sex and the City, is like a way for the cast to come back and just like tack on a little project. People don't expect to watch it in the same way that they anticipate a new season. I feel like the stakes are a little lower when it comes to films.
Well, it's like a finite ending. For instance, like Lily James, who we love, will not be in this movie because her character in the show, if you watch, she kind of leaves to go to America, and she's recently just said like it doesn't really make sense in a movie for me just to pop back in. It doesn't make sense. I also feel like movies make more money.
Yeah,
they can pay people more money. And with the TV show, you run.
That's the right answer.
Yeah, no, you just run into a lot of the networks,
We found it.
distribution, and production companies. It's different when a movie is like you can get a budget and you pay the actors more money. They'll come for 3 months and shoot a 2-hour film.
Also with TV, to Allie's point, it's like if you stick around too long, you always want to leave people with wanting more, for sure. So like doing the movie is like, it's been 2 years, we probably won't see this movie so it's like tons of anticipation, and I'll probably watch it.
Yeah.
Are there any other TV shows that you'd want to be made into films?
Well, I mean, I am a huge Sex and the City fan.
We've had
Like,
2 movies.
huge.
Yeah, you can't get enough?
I have just a story that I want to talk about. And I really like the movies, but they don't want me to share this fucking story. And
we do.
they were gonna do a third movie, which I was really looking forward to, but then there's this whole thing how they're not actually like friends. And
I know.
Am
Does
I
that
allowed
break
to
your
talk
heart?
about this?
Does that
Yeah,
break?
no,
You can talk about it.
How like Sarah Jessica Parker and like Kim Cattrall got in this fight, and now I don't get a movie. And
Aw, wow, that's so
sorry.
petty.
I know, and it
I'm
was,
sorry.
and like apparently Kim Cattrall like agreed to do it, and then like backed out, and everyone was like so upset. I'm pissed off. I mean, like give us a movie.
I know.
You did have 2 though, but I understand. I
But
completely
like
understand.
it's just when you get so into a series and then it ends, like you just want like.
More.
Could you imagine if a Friends movie came out?
But we won't.
It would be horrible, but can you like imagine? Like it's not a good idea. I don't want that.
I support
don't
you,
do
but
it.
I would watch the shit out of that.
I mean, everyone would watch it.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, it would be fun with the laugh track though for 2 hours. They would have to keep it, right?
What would that even be like, that movie? I feel like Rachel
no
and Ross
idea.
would be married with like a teenager.
Yeah.
There's some.
I
sort
don't
of-
know. And they moved to Connecticut, right? Monica and Chandler,
Yeah.
so that's
Right.
boring.
That's why that show won't come back. The creator was like, you don't want to watch the show. They're so boring.
Yeah, they're just like normal people.
The show I would want, but it's never going to happen. But it was rumored it was going to happen before he died. Was Sopranos. The Sopranos has been a really cool movie, but James Gandolfini sadly passed away.
Yeah.
I think that would have been really cool. And then another one where they kept talking about, but they're not going to do it, and I get why, because HBO was loyal to their subscribers, that the Game of Thrones movie would have been incredible. Just because like the budget of like a Lord of the Rings budget for Game of Thrones, like $200 million would have just been like, holy shit, I would have died. But HBO is very much like, it began on TV, it should end on TV.
That idea.
I would
I know, but they thought about it, but HBO was like, it's a TV show, we can't like, they thought like, you air part of the season, the finale is like a movie they release. It's kind of like, yeah, but it's a...
Yeah, it is weird.
It's kind of crap. It's like, it's a TV show, but it sounds cool though, right?
Yeah.
You never know. One day, I bet there'll be a Game of Thrones like in that world movie.
What do you guys think about a Mad Men movie?
Ooh.
Did you guys...
Wow, I'd fall asleep during that too.
Yeah. I don't know about that. I love that show so much, but I didn't like how there was no consequences for everything the characters did on the show. Like they would be like horrible people, and then
And it's just like,
that's it.
So why not watch that for an hour and a half?
Oh, true. You know what I want to see? Does anyone remember that show on the CW called The Secret Circle?
Nope.
No.
It's about witches. Okay, there's 3 people on the couch saying, "Don't worry, I'm with you." That show, first season was so good and was so amazing, and it ended on one of the greatest like cliffhangers of all time. And then I was online like, "When's the next season coming out?" And it was like, "It's canceled."
Oh,
I hate that. It feels so bad.
And I think about this show probably like 3 times a day, and my life is just stuck. I'm stuck. I can't move
how
on.
that feels. Like, I seriously get that.
It's so sad.
Like, this isn't at all that level, but I was watching this show last year on Netflix called Gypsy.
Oh yeah, and that got
Canceled.
canceled.
And I'm like dying to know what the hell happened.
It's
and they
another
canceled
cliffhanger.
it. And it's just like, don't do that to people.
Yeah, at all. It's so rude. You know, I'm gonna go
so
online and
hard to
publicly
live with.
shame. I have been publicly shaming CW for like 5 years. I made a YouTube video that night where I looked like an insane person, and people were like, "Shannon, are you okay?" But I'm still
like undershoes.
yeah. I literally was doing
leave
that.
Brittany alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So yeah, I'm gonna start just yelling at Netflix and everyone.
Yeah.
I support you. It's
gonna work.
I think
Thank
we
you.
start that campaign, we're gonna bring it back. What's the name of the show?
The Secret Circle, please.
Secret
Let's
Circle.
just start a
This
hashtag.
isn't that, this isn't this exact instance, but have you ever like really liked, well, of course you have because we're older people, but have you ever really liked a food product and it's been like canceled? Like, that's really
Yes,
upsetting too.
Twinkies.
Pepsi Blue.
Twinkies.
They canceled Twinkies and they brought them
did?
back.
They canceled.
Did you fight for that and they brought it back?
Wait, they
I
canceled
signed a
Twinkies?
petition
Wait,
about
they
Twinkies.
canceled Twinkies?
They did
Thank you.
for a minute,
Yeah.
and then they brought them back.
Everyone has a food product that comes to mind. Twinkies, what about you?
Pepsi Blue.
Pepsi Blue?
Yeah, I just like drinking blue stuff.
That's cool.
Wow, I remember Pepsi Blue.
Yeah, it tasted really good. And now they keep Crystal Pepsi, and I'm like, nobody wants Crystal Pepsi. Do you remember Papa Roach was in the commercial for Pepsi Blue?
No.
Do you remember that? And they were like speeding in a car. I don't know why I'm talking about Papa Roach. I'm so sorry.
My grandpa, well, there's this pound cake that my grandpa always has, and I get the brand of it. Maybe it's good I don't say the brand of it. Yes, maybe. And it's signature of my grandparents' house, and they
you work
changed
for
the recipe for it. And it was a big shock in my household. So he called them and was like, I want to know why you've changed. He goes, well, sir, we thought our customers were like this. And he goes, like, the motto, like, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
And whatever, months go by, and then they end up sending him something being like, we changed the recipe back. Enough people complained or whatever.
Oh my God.
Fight for what you believe in, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it's pound cake or
Especially
your
if you
TV
got
shows.
us. Fight for your rights.
Fight for the
Fight
pound
for
cake.
your rights.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Okay, I guess, yeah.
From movies on to music, there's some new music that you guys should be on the lookout for. Chance the Rapper recently announced that he'll be back in the studio with fellow Chicago native and mentor, wait for it, Kanye West. Here's what Chance had to say about the collaboration.
Working under him, working with him on his albums is crazy, but having him tell me that he wants to produce my album and come to Chicago and work with me is like...
That's dope. So he's gonna come here and like work with you and do your stuff here?
Yeah, this month we're working in Chicago.
Chance also talked about working with rapper and actor Donald Glover, AKA Childish Gambino. So what do you guys think about Chance partnering up with Kanye? Somebody who's been very controversial this year.
I think that this is probably, I mean, I know Kanye has been controversial as, you know, he's been difficult this year for all of us. But I think that Chance is probably like thrilled about this. Like, I mean, to have like someone that's that big in your industry wanting to like come in and like produce your album or like whatever it is, like that's huge for him.
Yeah, I also like obviously don't know Chance personally, but I think he is such a positive person and such a good influence. And when Kanye was going through that whole Twitter spree, I really liked how Chance was trying to speak to him without getting, you know, too critical. And I felt like he was, you know, like kind of like trying to lead him back to the light. And so I'm excited for Kanye to be back in Chicago. I was really sad to see the things that happened with Donda's house. And them removing him from the, or, you know, I don't know if he stepped down or if they removed it, but like, it's sad. I want him to have a presence in Chicago. I don't want him to just be in LA and completely disconnected from his background.
I definitely think that's like that part of what makes this so great is the returning to Chicago.
Yeah.
And I think returning to the roots, because Kanye is an incredible producer. So to help produce one of the greatest young rappers now of our time back in both their homes, in which Chicago is such an incredible history and culture, I think will make great music and be great for Kanye.
Yeah, and like you said, Chance did step up and kind of defend Kanye through all of that. At one point, he was like, look, black people don't have to be Democrats. So if he wants to support Trump, let him support Trump. And this is coming from Chance, who is like a very democratic person, has been on, you know, he supports the Obamas, like he's done stuff with the Obamas nonstop. So that he could make that difference, I think was cool. I do think he's gonna get the best of Kanye because Kanye is a producer baseline. That's where he started, that's where he's the most talented. You don't really have to hear him that much. You get to just like actually see his creative genius at work instead of him just telling you that he's a creative genius. So I'm hoping that the collaboration is gonna be good because I've had a hard time with Kanye this year personally.
You've had a hard time listening?
With this. I haven't listened to his album for that reason, but I will support him supporting other musicians that I love. So
totally.
Yeah, for sure. He's also gonna work with Childish Gambino.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that. I feel like that's just gonna be so much fun.
Yeah.
That's a great pairing, like a great duo.
It's gonna be perfectly weird, I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you
They
have
both take risks.
Do you have any favorite like artist collaborations do you guys like that you think of?
I always love when Nicki Minaj and Ariana Grande do stuff together. I feel like they always have like some of the best pop hits.
Yeah. Winning.
Remember when Beyonce and Shakira made that song together, guys? That was good. Beautiful Liar.
Oh my.
Beyonce.
And then they
Beyonce.
looked exactly the same in the video.
And they switch.
And I was like, who is who? I cannot tell.
Yeah.
You guys remember that video?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you have Madonna and Britney, where Britney's chasing Madonna around the club. Madonna's like with the cane. That's a great
It's
one.
just me against the music.
Madonna doing back bends like by herself, like classic music, guys. Good
I love
times.
collabs.
Yeah,
Like
love
any
collabs.
collaboration with Luther Vandross too.
Just anyone.
Mariah and Whitney, When You Believe.
So many good ones.
Yeah.
I love that one where they were just like out singing each other though at the
Best
end.
performance ever at the Oscars, and you can literally see like Mariah sings and Whitney goes, take a seat.
Yeah.
And just like belts it, and Mariah's like, this is okay, I'm okay with this. And Whitney's like killing her.
If you guys haven't seen this, YouTube it right now because Whitney puts her to sleep.
It's amazing.
But
Oscar
Mariah fights
performance.
as long as she can.
Because
It's
Mariah
fantastic.
had the range, but Whitney had the power.
Yeah.
Whitney just like belts it. Mariah looks so mad. She gives this like, like I'm okay, it's fine.
This is great.
Has
We
Mariah
planned it. We
ever
planned it.
Yeah, we planned it like this, and Whitney's like, That's great.
Oh man.
Well, more exciting music news. As K-pop mania continues to sweep the world, fans are going to extreme lengths to catch a glimpse of their favorite stars. After the recent arrival of K-pop boy band BTS in South Korea, fans took to Twitter asking actor John Cena to protect the musical group. In a tweet, John said, "I've had a little trouble keeping up lately, but does BTS need a bodyguard? Crazy, because I've been touring with them for years. They just can't see me." Ooh, whoa, someone went, oh, in the studio. They're like, what?
It's like supportive and creepy at the same time.
Why is he being so sneaky? I feel like John Cena is hiding under one of the couches right now.
Yeah.
Like,
This is John
he's always
Cena.
there. oh no.
Sneaky little thumb man.
Get out of here.
He still does look like a thumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me though if he actually did this, because he's one of those people like The Rock. These action guys now are just like so everywhere. They're willing to jump in and be a part of
I
things.
was
Like
just gonna say, like, they're everywhere.
they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So it would not be shocking. And mark my words, like at the Grammys or something, he like shows up with them like as a little
Oh,
stunt.
totally.
Oh, the
It would be
fans will love
hilarious.
it.
Such a good prediction.
Yeah, it could be really funny because he's funny. I mean, I think he's game to do that.
Yeah, he's funny. Anytime he like subs in as like, I've seen him sub in as a co-host on the Today Show. like a bunch of times. He's like great. He does everything.
Yeah, he's so talented.
I saw his butt in
He's
Trainwreck.
amazing.
It was fantastic.
Oh yeah, did you love that butt?
I did love that butt.
I know,
in Trainwreck.
right?
Yeah, it was good.
Breakfast. But you know, this is actually there's a serious angle to the story because BTS they were getting death threats, one of their members. So like, it is serious.
No, it is.
The fans were like, please, we don't want our stars to die.
Like, has fandom gone too crazy now? Like, are fans just too intense?
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about his butt.
Yeah, I know, right?
No.
I think we've seen with some of these South Korean boy bands that their fans are so loyal and dedicated, and they show up. Like when we had, what was it, NCT 128, 7?
127, yeah.
127. When they came, the crowd out here was bigger than I've ever seen it.
They were so intense. We actually had a girl, like, because the studio was full, we actually had people upstairs too looking down, and one of their fans actually got so excited she threw up.
Oh my God.
And I was like, oh no, we had to like help her out, but it was, you know, they get really worked up and they'll do anything to get close to them, like anything at all.
Puke.
Including puke, or send them death threats.
I've never freaked out. Like, I've never done anything like so inappropriate. I do remember, like, my first time I was like front row at a Madonna concert. My first time, I was 14. She was, whatever. It was her Sticky and Sweet tour. And I do remember her coming out. I've never been that close to a person that famous before. And I just started to cry. Because it's like, she's who she is, but like, you just like, when you're with someone, like, I love her, but like that famous.
I learned something new about you.
I was front row and I was just like, I can't believe this is happening. And my mom being like, is he gonna jump the fence? Is he gonna jump the fence? And the guy, I swear, her security like saw me like, just like tightened his grip on the fence. He's like, don't you dare. And I'm like crying like, it's cool. But like when I saw Beyonce live, same sort of thing. You see these people like as people and like they're like that close and funny and you're just like, oh my God. And they glow, and I'm just gonna take a moment.
Yeah, I don't quite have that same.
Never done
imagining
Never?
young
Is that
Lisa.
just me? Am I weird?
No, I'm there too. I was
Yeah.
like that for Hanson. I went to a One Direction concert and I like danced and cried the whole time. Like I was like so invested in whether Zayn was happy or not because like he kept on singing all his verses with his back kind of turned to the cameras and I was like, oh no, he's not feeling it. And like it was just so intense.
And how about like that like desire, like you just want them to look at you, but like they're seeing 10,000 people, you're like, look at me, look at me. No, she saw me, she smiled at me, like, no, she didn't. Like,
Yeah.
But then when they do look at you, you freak out too hard and they're like, oh God.
yeah, like, okay, shouldn't have done that.
It's really hard to control. I was an intern at The Tonight Show, and I remember Jennifer Aniston was on the show one day, and she's like the #1 movie. In my mind, there's no one I love more than her. And I grew up watching so much Friends, and I remember her walking into the studio during like a rehearsal, and I was sitting in the studio, and I just heard her talking, and I like recognized her voice because I was just like, oh, this is like a voice that was in my home, like growing up, like Rachel and like everything. And I remember just feeling so weird that like I knew her voice and all I wanted to do was go up and talk to her, but like she had no idea who I was.
Right.
And it was such a weird feeling, and it was like really depressing.
Yeah. I would say that I got to go to Oprah's final season and I sat in the front row, and so her chair was sitting right across from me. And it was like not a great show to go to, it was like kind of boring, but it was about that like no texting and driving campaign. So she came out to talk to us and she looked at me, she goes, I'm so happy that young people like you are supporting this campaign. And that was my moment to say anything, and I just go, like breathing deeply, double thumbs up. Like that's all I could muster.
Oh,
I love that.
I was there with my mom, so it was like a really special. I could have said anything. I could have said thank you, just that.
I love that.
But the good story when you do meet her.
Yeah, when
You're
I meet her, yeah. It's like, do you
Hey,
remember
Brittany.
those double thumbs up? Like I'm
Nice to meet you.
sweating, like clammy thumbs.
So they, like, and her point of view is this crazy woman like,
Exactly. Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Oh man.
I love that.
That's okay. Well, pop star Ariana Grande dropped a new single last week on the same day that her ex-boyfriend Mac Miller released a song about a failed relationship. The rapper's song, titled Self-Care, threw shade to a past relationship. In the song, Mac writes, "Can't trust no one, can't even trust yourself, and I love you, I don't love anybody else." I wonder who he's talking about.
yeah.
Yeah.
This drama is gonna just keep going, isn't it? I mean, every day we have some good, like, new news about Pete and Ariana, then I feel like their exes are gonna keep popping in.
Yeah, I mean, Ariana right now, you were saying earlier, she's just like in the center of it all.
Yeah.
Constantly having to comment on stuff. Did you guys listen to her new song?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
God is
so
a Woman?
good.
God is a Woman, really funky music
Anybody?
video.
Real-
I'm making a story about her.
Yeah, well, yeah, really, the video is quite interesting. It's like really like not only is it part animation, part this, but like the symbolism. I mean, God as woman is a very like controversial topic. Like, so she's taking that going there, but then also to bring it back to M.
What did you think about the symbolism in the video?
Well, I like that she's like really claiming her like being a feminist and like claiming girl power and stuff. But I thought what I'm seeing it is Ariana really saying, I'm no longer a teen pop star, I'm becoming an icon pop star. And like, and the biggest thing I'm gonna say is like, not only does she wear the Madonna corset, Madonna literally reads the monologue from Pulp Fiction, from Ezekiel from the Bible, but gender flips it. So like, God, I'm not gonna quote it.
Yeah.
But and Ariana mouths it or whatever. So it's really like, literally is Ariana saying like, taking the feminist stance, but also she wants to become Madonna. I think that's what it's saying. I am becoming the icon, and I'm leaving that behind me, and I'm becoming God as woman.
Madonna is literally passing the torch,
literally.
sort of. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it explains also like Ariana and this whole stage of like, you know, Madonna got married to Sean Penn young, and that was a very tumultuous marriage. I think this is kind of similar, marrying to Pete, you know. Yeah. I don't know, I think Ariana's really kind of like claiming this time and like welcoming being the center of it because she wants to be that iconic pop star.
I didn't know, the part in the video that surprised me was the little like lemur things.
Don't know what that was.
I have no idea what that was. There's just lemurs popping up and they just go,
no, watch it.
Liked it, though.
And then the song continues.
I think lemurs are kind of sexy in themselves.
Oh,
so I thought she was like, you know, doing a cool metaphor where it was like, ooh, religion and sex, but she chose lemurs because lemurs are the sexiest animal.
Okay.
Is that
right? Could be. That could very well be. And I also think that the cosmic sort of waters we see, they look a little like a vagine.
Oh, yeah. Little. That's definitely what it was.
And she was touching the vagine.
Yeah. She was kind of doing some finger swirls. I saw the internet saying she basically fingered a level 5 hurricane is what they said on the internet.
It looks like that.
Well, yeah. No, she's like, it's like Mother Nature and like pleasing Mother Nature. I mean, yeah.
I think we should do that. You know, as a world, we've been really bad to Mother Nature, and she deserves a good time.
She deserves to get some.
Let's finger her up.
Yes.
Anyway, and Mac Miller.
Mac Miller. No one's paying attention to Mac Miller because Ariana Grande is having a huge fucking moment right now.
Yeah. And I'm sorry, but you know, I want him to be able to express himself. I do care about him and his well-being. I know he's going through a hard time, but I just feel like, don't be petty. Please don't draw attention to like the breakup. She's obviously having a moment. You know, he admits he kind of messed up, and she was speaking on Twitter about how toxic that relationship was. So I feel like, you know, you had your chance to work on that relationship. It didn't work out. Let her move on. Don't be like drawing attention away from her happiness.
Well, they both dropped on the same day, both songs, right?
But how did they, was that
So that's what I'm like, how does that happen? Again, I'm like so conspiracy theory. I'm like, they both dropped songs on the same day. What an accident. It was like, no, it's all sort of feeding into this narrative and this whole story that they've built in the media.
Yeah.
So like, I never really feel sorry for anyone. I'm like, they're just like, also business people.
Yeah. I see what you mean about like not wanting to be the person who like drags the person back down and is like making it about him. But I also think like I haven't heard a lot from him other than like this song.
Yeah,
so like if this is him like expressing himself and working out his stuff, like people do that all the time.
Yeah.
But it is actually interesting though because I would feel like for Ariana, like releasing a video takes a lot more preparation and time. So I don't think she would just like release a video when he released a song.
Yeah.
It takes a while, first of all, to film that, and kind of the record company at least plans out when everything's gonna come out. So maybe it was more him releasing the song, being like,
You have to think they have similar friends at this point. Like maybe somebody just like let them know. Like
they were together for a long time,
Yeah.
2 years. I did not know that.
Yeah, absolutely. I keep looking at him though, and like in that picture specifically, I'm like, she does kind of have a type. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He's giving me some Pete Davidson with the tats and the head. Like all of that, and he's sort of like
having a head.
Yes, he has a head above the neck. Above,
She loves guys with heads.
Yes, it's amazing.
No, you're absolutely right.
He does.
There's like a vibe I'm getting, so she certainly has a type.
Yeah.
We'll see where this goes.
Well, anyway, in TV news, the Fab Five is back, guys. Netflix has renewed Queer Eye for a 3rd season, and this time the boys are traveling to Kansas City. The new season is set to premiere on Netflix in 2019.
Yes.
We pumped?
Yes.
Love it.
Make it come sooner.
Yeah.
I want it now.
Yeah, right?
Great show.
Who doesn't love this show? It's such a great show. I'm excited that they're going to Kansas City. I feel like they always choose spots for a very clear reason.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. I think like what we saw with Georgia is that it has Atlanta, which is pretty progressive, but then there's also the rural areas where they were going out and like touching people's lives and meeting with Trump supporters. I think Kansas City is sort of similar. I'm from the Midwest, and so you have Kansas City, which is like very like poppin', but then you also have those rural areas where I think they're gonna go out and find some interesting interactions and maybe like open some people's eyes to new stuff.
Yeah, I just can't believe we're not getting this season until 2019. I
know.
mean,
Yeah.
how long? I mean.
Well, they spoiled us. They gave us, you know, they were really kind to us and gave us a quick turnaround on season 2, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be tough waiting.
But 2019, that's like over 6 months.
Oh, think of.
Well, we're gonna be busy. Don't worry.
We're busy. A lot of stuff. 2019 is gonna be a good year for TV, but Game of Thrones, Queer Eye. But how will they make it different? Like this past year, they did a woman. I mean, they made over a woman. They didn't do a woman.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, will they do anything differently and new that like will change it up? Do you think?
I'm sure they'll continue to.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing the show is really good at is when they sort of do over someone, they always like are able to extend the message to be about something like much bigger than what we see going on. And I think they're going to be able to continue to do that. I mean,
Yeah, I appreciate the show so much because it could literally just be like the fluffiest of fluff shows ever, but they keep it so real. Like, even this second season when they opened up, they were talking about the towns that they visit, and they called out, like, Anthony was like, oh, I never have felt unsafe in the towns we visit. And they were like, yeah, that's because you're white and cis.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, ooh, like,
Yeah.
you know, they do not like hold back, not with each other, not with their audience, not with the people they're making over. So I really appreciate it because, you know, it is still a fun show. It's a great show to watch with your family members and just start dialogue.
Yeah, I
Absolutely.
totally agree. Like, I'm thinking of Tan France, like this season, opening up about like how he, as someone who is gay, maybe wasn't as versed about like all the other issues that the LGBT community faces. And like, I really like, I identify with what he's saying, like as someone who dates women and, you know, like doesn't maybe necessarily know about like issues trans people have or other people on the spectrum. So I think it's enlightening for like everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the biggest takeaways is that people assume the LGBTQ community is like all the same.
Right, yeah.
And it was like, no, there are different lives. Like everybody needs to learn and be inclusive in their own way. So yeah, that was a big takeaway for me too.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
You
it.
think it's gonna win an Emmy? It's nominated for 4.
It's got to.
Yeah, I
has
think
to.
it will.
Right?
Yeah.
If it doesn't, again, you know, I'm gonna be angry. You
You're
know,
gonna
me and
tweet
my
the
anger
Academy.
issues.
It's one of those things like last year with This Is Us. It's one of those shows like everybody was talking about it. It's like starting these conversations. It has the same sort of like
It's a
energy
zeitgeist
to
for
it.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this has been fun, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same table.
Bye, guys.